Welcome. Today, we're diving into the incredible story of how a small 50-bed charity hospital in Pakistan didn't just serve its community, it completely transformed it. This is the story of an institution that went from just treating patients to training the very doctors who would treat generations to come, and in doing so, reshaped healthcare for an entire region. So, how does something like that even happen? I mean, how do you make that kind of monumental leap? Well, it's a story about big vision and a whole lot of commitment. We're going to trace the journey of the Bhitai Dental and Medical College, right from its humble beginnings as a small welfare project, and follow its path to becoming the major institution it is today. To really get what this college is all about, we have to go back. This story doesn't start in a classroom or a lecture hall. Nope. It starts right in the heart of a community, inside a small hospital that was built on one simple idea: service. Just look at this timeline. For more than 20 years, long before a single student ever walked through its doors, the name Bhitai meant you could get healthcare you could afford. That 50-bed hospital wasn't just a building, it was a promise. And that deep well of trust they built over decades, that became the real foundation for everything that came next. And this was the motto driving it all: care needs no relation. This wasn't just some catchy slogan for a brochure. It was the absolute core philosophy of the Bhitai Trust's entire mission. It set up this legacy of compassion that's still central to who they are, even as a major academic center today. All right, let's get to that huge turning point. This is where the mission really evolved, from simply providing care to actually creating the next generation of caregivers, tackling a massive shortage of medical professionals in the region head-on. 2010. This is the year. This is when the vision just explodes. The Bhitai Dental and Medical College is officially born. And with it, it makes history as the very first dental college in the entire division. For local students dreaming of a career in medicine, this wasn't just new, it was a complete and total game changer. And the scale of this change is just staggering when you see it side by side. I mean, think about that shift. From a single charity hospital in the city to a modern, sprawling 2-acre campus. The mission itself pivoted in a massive way, from treating one patient at a time to training professionals who could treat thousands, serving not just a town, but an entire region. But the vision didn't just stop with one college. The leadership was smart. They understood that a really strong healthcare system needs all kinds of professionals, not just dentists, but physiotherapists and pharmacists and nurses too. So they began this really strategic expansion, like they were putting together a puzzle, piece by piece. First, the dental college. Then they added physiotherapy. After that, pharmacy. And then nursing. See, this wasn't just random growth. It was the deliberate construction of a complete healthcare education hub, which we now know as the Bhitai Group of Colleges. And the result of that smart strategy? Well, today, the total number of students across all of these vital health fields is over 800. That's 800 future healthcare professionals being trained in a region that was just desperate for them. Of course, building beautiful facilities is one thing, but for any school to have a real impact, its degrees have to mean something. They need to have weight. You need credibility, not just at home, but on the world stage. And Bhitai was all over this. They secured full recognition from Pakistan's own Medical and Dental Council. That gives graduates the license to practice right there at home. Their affiliation with the prestigious Liaquat University ensures the academics are top-notch. And on a global scale, getting listed by the World Health Organization and recognized by bodies like the ECFMG in the US, well, that opens up doors for their graduates to practice all over the world. So let's see how all of this comes together to make a real-world impact. Because beyond the buildings and the fancy accreditations, the true measure of a college is the success of its students and the community they end up serving. And you can hear it straight from the alumni. Dr. Iqbal says the college's mentorship is what set him up for success, leading him to become a CEO and chief dental surgeon at his own clinic. That is a direct line from classroom support to real-world leadership. And then you get these incredible stories like Dr. Kizer's, a top graduate from one of the very first batches. Her journey came completely full circle. After achieving so much, she came back to Bhitai to teach and mentor the next wave of students. That right there creates this powerful, self-sustaining cycle of community and excellence. But beyond these powerful individual stories, there's this huge regional transformation. By bringing this level of education right to their doorstep, it meant talented students didn't have to leave home anymore to chase their dreams. The college became a magnet for students from all the surrounding, often underserved districts. And crucially, it never forgot its roots. They're still out there running free medical camps, taking healthcare directly to the people who need it the most. And that brings us to what's next, which is somehow even more ambitious. The story is far from over. The vision now is to evolve from just a group of colleges into a full-fledged healthcare university. The goal is to turn Mirpurkhas into a comprehensive, self-sufficient medical city. I mean, from a small clinic driven by compassion to a future university shaping an entire region's healthcare. What does that tell us about the power of a single, focused mission?